Yorgel Kibano, Hujbaj, or as they say here in Oahu, no, Waikiki. As they say here in Waikiki, I think on the island of Oahu. Anyway, I think they say, I think they say aloha. And forgive me for not putting on my aloha shirt as I start another day. Mm, boy, that's good. That's really, really good. So I find myself here in Hawaii on a layover. If you got a layover somewhere, Hawaii is a pretty good place to do it. So I find myself here in Hawaii listening to Don Ho, Hawaiian music, and it's bright and early. It's time for breakfast. I didn't know that they included breakfast in my accommodations. I'm staying at the Holiday Inn Express here in Waikiki, and believe it or not, I got in the flight from the flight from I flew United Airlines. The flight from LA to Honolulu was beautiful. It was about they got in an hour early, if you can imagine that. And the flight was all of 5 hours. And I got into town, and you'd think that the first thing that I'd want to do would be to reach the beach. But with the exception of going out to get a hamburger, I didn't see the outside of my hotel room all night. I just stayed in there all night, and I did. But yeah, you know it. I did some work, and I'm watching this movie Parasite, which is a Korean movie with subtitles, and it really is a good movie. I can see whereas it won Best Picture of the Year. It's a fascinating movie, a little bit long, but that's okay. So anyway, what else is on my mind today? I woke up today at it must have been 3 o'clock on my phone as I wiped the sleep out of my eyes. How many people are? I got nobody watching me right now, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm doing a live broadcast to nobody. But anyway, so I woke up at about 3 o'clock this morning, and on my phone, when you go to your phone, there's a hi there. Oh, you're here. Hi. Who is that? John? Yeah. Hi, John. Okay. And Mark is here. All right, guys. So I woke up this morning. At about 3 o'clock, and on my phone, under the clock on the phone, if you go through the apps, there's a thing that says World Clock, and you can add destinations in Los Angeles and Brisbane, where I'm going. And so I know that I'm going to be referencing that for a while. And it's interesting because when I was in Florida, and I was trying to calculate the time difference between Florida and Michelle, for all intent and purpose, what I would do is there was a 15-hour time difference, so I would add 12. So if it was 8 in the morning, it was 8 at night there. And then I would add 3 more, so it'd be 11 o'clock at night. So when I'd wake up in the morning at 8 o'clock, I'd know, well, it's 11 o'clock at night over in Brisbane. And that's how I would calculate it. But here, it's a little bit different. Here, I just have to subtract 3 hours. So Michelle is 3 hours behind. Well, she's kind of 3 hours behind me, but actually she's 21 hours ahead of me. And it's easier to subtract 3 hours than it is to add 21. So right now, as I'm doing this video at 6:30 in the morning, it's 3:30 in the morning over there where Michelle is. And speaking of that, I gotta tell you, there's a lot of excitement and anticipation about going down under, such as I'm about to do. But there's also, a certain amount of, anxiety, and I don't know if the word is anxiety, but there's also a certain amount of apprehension And, you know, I mean, it's like I was lying in bed this morning and in my head, in my mind, you know, I was lying there in the dark. All I could see was that big continent down there and that map in my office. You know, that map hanging up on my office? All I could see was that big continent down there. And and to think that tomorrow morning I'll be waking up and be getting on a plane and I'm going to be so far removed from life as I know it. It's going to be it's going to be an immersion into an entire new life and lifestyle and people and experiences. And you know, you just kind of you just you just hope for the best. You really, really hope for the best in the whole thing. But anyway, as I was sitting up this morning working, I'm doing a new website for a guy, which is a story in and by itself. I had a guy call me up. If you type in, if you go to Google, or not even Google, go to Google and type in Steve King Auto, Nashua, Nashua or something, Nashua, Nashua. So there's a gentleman that bought this shop that's been open since 1982, and his name is Arthur. And Arthur found me on Facebook, and he bought this shop called Steve King Auto out of Nashua, New Hampshire, and he's going to rename it to Matrix Auto Works. Matrix Auto Works, Matrix Auto Works, WORKS.net. So he bought the domain name matrixautoworks.net. So I woke up this morning and I started setting up his website. It's still a work in progress, but I was able to launch it this morning, matrixautoworks.net. And you know, as I was launching that, if you go to that website, if you go to matrixautoworks.net and you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you'll see a picture of Arthur and his wife and his little girl. And I gotta tell you, you know, when somebody puts their trust in me to, you know, for arguably the most important aspect of their business, that's a big responsibility. It really is. It's a huge responsibility. You know, I look at that picture of that smiling family. I see the little girl. I see the wife and everything, and I think to myself, this guy is trusting me to put food on his table, and it's a big responsibility for me. And I've got that same responsibility for. I've got that. No, stop looking at the people behind me, okay? Just focus on me. But anyway, it's a big responsibility, and you know, I may be here in Hawaii on a layover for 2 days, but I've got work to do. I might go walk down to the beach. I might go walk on Waikiki Beach a little bit and maybe do a walk and talk video. But we will see, as the saying goes. I'm going to be on the beach for the next 2 months, 3 months, maybe 4 months. You know, I'm going to be on the beach. I'm going to be living on the beach. So the fact that, you know, Waikiki Beach is a 10-minute walk from me, you know, it's kind of like, oh well, you know. But as I was sitting up there doing my work, I found myself thinking, you know, that this could just be another adventure. It could just be another adventure, just another trip. Or it could be turning the page in the book of life to the next chapter. And I say that because, you know, you just never know what to expect when you know, going down there and having Michelle. Michelle's gone out of her way. She's really gone out of her way to accommodate me and in anticipation of my trip to come down there. She really is a sweetheart. And I talked to her yesterday, and I asked her, I said, you know, I get in at 6:30 at night. I leave I leave on Sunday at noon from Hawaii, and I get into Australia at 6:30 on Monday night, and Tuesday, which is actually Monday for you. Tuesday, we get on a plane at 3 o'clock out of Brisbane, and we fly up to the Whitsunday Islands. And I asked Michelle, I said, should I get a hotel? Should I get a hotel in Brisbane for us? And she said, no, she's going to pick me up, and then we're going to drive up to her house up in the Sunshine Coast. So we're going to drive up to her house on the Sunshine Coast and spend my first night. Will be in at her home, and then the next day I can wake up. She said I can walk on the beach. I can, go for a walk with Sam, or do whatever. And then the next day we're going to get back in the car and drive back down to the airport, which is about an hour ride. And I don't know. It seems a little bit. I could just as easily get a hotel in Brisbane on Monday night and have her come down on Tuesday to fly up to the Whitsundays. But it's always nice to have somebody waiting for you when you arrive. But who was it yesterday? Mike. I think it was Mike yesterday who told me don't blow it. Don't blow it when it comes to Michelle. And I've been, that thought's been rolling around in my head. And, I'm not going down to Australia to see Michelle with any expectations or what have you of romance. I'm going down there to spend time with a beautiful person. And, if anything comes of it from a romantic sense, then that's wonderful. But romance and love and everything, it's not something that you can force. If it happens, it happens. And I'm just going to treat Michelle with the utmost respect and kindness and love, and just who knows what'll happen with the whole situation. But to be told not to blow it, that's a somewhat of a presumptuous statement, presuming that Michelle and I will even have a mutual interest in each other from a romantic perspective. But anyway, I gotta try to stop overthinking things. That's what I gotta do. Is I gotta not overthink the situation and just have fun. But anyway, speaking of having fun, I'm gonna go have my breakfast right now, and I'm gonna bring you. Let's see what they have. Everybody here is wearing their Hawaiian shirts. And if I turn this camera around, let's see. So this is the breakfast room here. You see, you got all the Hawaiian shirts. They're very, very friendly. That's a nice thing about when you're in a place like this. Everybody's in a good mood. So this hotel actually has like 38 floors or something like that. And I haven't seen what they have for breakfast yet. But nice selection of food. Okay, let's see here.
I don't drink coffee.
What do they have?
Well, you're asking me about what I'm drinking now.
Not bad. Nice
Can I
little
use this line?
turkey sausage, pork sausage. Oh, they got all the fixings. Just your typical breakfast. But very, very nice. So I'm gonna make myself a nice breakfast and get on with my day. And maybe I will do I'll do a walk and talk a little bit later from Waikiki Beach. So have a good day, everybody. Take good care.